watching live scenes here as Inter Milan are picking up their runners-up medal. Yes, it's the second time for the Italian team in the last few seasons. I'm going to head you over to our commentary team of Clive and Rob for the trophy presentation.
Thank you, Anita. Now, Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, Edinson Cavani, Angel Di Maria, Thiago Silva, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Ronaldinho, Dani Alves, who I missed here, Rob. Why could they not do this? What's different about this Paris Saint-Germain team?
It has been a complete team performance throughout the whole competition. And you go from the goalkeeper Donnarumma being the star of the show up until the final, and then today it has been an all-round performance of perfection. And that is what the manager has asked for from this team, and that is what he's created. Yeah, and not to mention Pochettino and Tuchel and Emery and Ancelotti, who couldn't do this. No expense spared, no price too high, no aim other than this one, to create a football team to run with and to beat the best. I mean, those Qatari owners have thrown money at it. 9 of this squad cost $50 million or more. But it's a squad with a different profile, a different culture now, different kind of approach, different kind of coach. It's given them a new energy. It's all come together in the last 6 months to create a winning team. It's amazing to think they were the last French club to win a UEFA competition back in 1996, the now defunct European Cup Winners' Cup. No victories for French teams since then. 6 major finals without a victory, but now they can not only kiss the great trophy, they can get their hands on it. And it will be one of the first of those mega signings. 12 years it was that Marquinhos joined the club from Roma. He wasn't even a Brazilian international when he signed in 2013. He is the sole connection, the sole source of continuity from the modern roots of the club. He took over as captain from Thiago Silva in 2020, and tonight becomes the first captain of Paris Saint-Germain to lift the European Cup. Only the second Brazilian after Marcelo. The destination in a remarkable journey. You see the chief executive of the club there, Nasser Al-Khelaifi, the club president. He is, like Marquinhos, has been part of this journey all along. It is the night that the whole PSG project has come to fruition. The night that Paris Saint-Germain won the Champions League. He can hardly believe it. But springtime in Paris will be party time. A party a decade and more in the planning. No European club has ever wanted European success quite like Paris Saint-Germain wanted it. They wanted Messi and Mbappe and Neymar to bring it to them, to enjoy these moments. But instead, it's Dembele and Donnarumma and Doué who've delivered. A new young team for whom this might just be the start. A new name on the roll of honour of European football's greatest prize. And that name is Paris Saint-Germain. And a final thought, Anita, next stop for this team, Los Angeles, a game in the FIFA Club World Cup in 15 days' time. There's a lot of champagne to drink in Paris before then. To everybody involved with this team, Santé. Back to you, Anita, at pitchside.
Clive, Rob, thank you very much for your help this evening. Congratulations to PSG, the Champions League winners of 2025. Micah, Jamie and Thierry are living it up here, throwing confetti as well.
Everywhere.
But let's talk about the process with this club, Jamie. What lessons do you think people can take in terms of the recruitment style? Because they threw out the script of hiring or bringing in the biggest stars, and they've relied on youth.
we shouldn't forget, and Clive made a really good point in commentary, you know, they haven't just picked these players up from the street and they haven't cost nothing, they've cost a lot of money, these younger players, but it tells you it's not about having the best players, it's about having the best team. Now, there's no doubt they're more of a team, but what the players they brought in before, let's not forget these are some of the greatest players we've ever seen in our lives in terms of Lionel Messi, Neymar especially, and obviously Mbappe was there.
Ibrahimovic,
yeah, but I mean, this team has got energy, it's got legs, it's got pace. The team before, certainly in the last few years, with those big name stars I mentioned, didn't have the intensity to win a Champions League. With this team, when I see someone like Dembele pressing from the front, Kvaratskhelia, the way he's running back into the left-back position, they didn't have that before. And that is a big difference to this team. And that is a message to everybody in European and world football. A team is more important than individuals.
Well, they have got some great individuals, though, as well. I know exactly what you mean, but if you look at their starting lineup, Nuno Mendes, we mentioned before the game, Hakimi, Thierry told us about Kvaratskhelia years and years and years ago. Went to Napoli, won the league there. Them getting him in January changed the course of this team, without doubt. Due Bacola, we know what they can do. But the position of Dembele going into that false nine and it all coming together, it's just been a joy to watch. And a lot of people, we forget where PSG were in the league phase. They nearly went out, and then the form became great at the right time. And in football, it's all about time and taking in moments. And you could just see with this squad, they grew into confidence. They knew exactly what the coach wants, and they've got some enormous talent in this squad as well. They're a joy to watch.
Thierry, I wanted to get your thoughts on Marquinhos, the captain, because you would have known a similar feeling to him, reaching a Champions League final but not getting over the line. He was runners-up 5 years ago when Thomas Tuchel was the manager, but this time he's managed to lead the team to the promised land.
He did, and he was crying on the side very close to us, like almost a bit behind everybody, because he's realizing the journey that it was. So for example, if you're Desiree Doué, you feel like it's an easy one. You arrive, you win it. Marquinhos knows that it's not easy to go in a Champions League final. It's not easy to win it. But you had guys like Marquinhos, you had Hakimi, you had Nuno Mendes, and then you had the crazy guy, the crazy gang that didn't care playing a Champions League final or playing, I don't know who. We're going to play football with no fear. But this guy knew that, you know, maybe it's not going to be another one for him. Maybe for that generation, but not for him. But to be able to deliver the Champions League for France once again, and especially for this club. Listen to me. Like, if you, I didn't see the scene yet in Paris, but hey, wow, it's gonna be crazy tonight.
And I always ask you, and I genuinely am interested in when I ask you that the feeling, you've won it and you've lost it, you've won it and you lost it. Okay, no one likes to lose, but what does it feel like? Have a word for the Inter players tonight as well, Jim.
They'd be devastated, and I must say, listen, when you lose a Champions League final, no matter what the score, I'm a huge admirer of Inter Milan, and the coach, I think he's fantastic. But I'm almost angry and disappointed on their point of view. Once that game gets to 3-0, it's game over. You get everybody behind the ball, your substitutions are defensive players, and you let PSG have the ball on the halfway, and you get everybody on the edge of the box. Every time PSG went forward, they looked like they could score. And when it was 3-0, it almost felt inevitable to be 5-0. They were actually lucky it was only 5-0. Now this score now becomes an embarrassment rather than just a loss to a fantastic team. It's a result that will be remembered for a long time from Inter Milan, because we've never seen this before. They've created history in the wrong way, and I think that could have been stopped by the coach and the players.
Thierry, your thoughts on Luis Enrique? It's his second season in charge. He made some big decisions in this run into the final. You think of back in the league phase when they played Arsenal away, he didn't include Dembele in the team then. What would you say about his management style?
It is way or the highway. I mentioned it so many times. It's all you play like he likes to, or you have to go. And if you're someone that might be overshadowing his view of what he's about to do, he's going to let you go. Neymar, you can go. Verratti, you can go. I already mentioned that. He had confidence in Vitinha. He knew that if you give some type of guidance to Fabian Ruiz, the Fabian Ruiz in the national team and the Fabian Ruiz before of the Paris Saint-Germain looked like he was lost. If you give him a structure to be able to play Fabian Ruiz, he can execute it. So you have to give him a lot of credit. Look, that's his second treble with a different team. only Pep Guardiola has done that with Barcelona and Man City. Now he's doing it obviously with Barcelona also, and now with Paris Saint-Germain. But to do it at Paris Saint-Germain, it's for me a tiny bit more valuable. I would say that. And don't get me wrong, yes, you mentioned it before, money is available, you can buy players, but they went in the right direction. They bought the right players and did surround them with some old guys in the team. But Luis Enrique, like I said, I mentioned it so many times, and I have a little special thinking for him also. I'm sure there must be something in his head there, thinking about his daughter that he lost not that long ago. And you know, that's just outstanding. But another thing also is so weird because Marseille won it here against AC Milan. Paris Saint-Germain wins it in Munich again, but against Inter Milan. It's so weird how things happen. It was way more difficult for Marseille, but to be able to win 5-0 in the final, and I agree with Jamie, you know what? You have to have some sympathy and empathy for Inter Milan. But I thought the switch would have happened at 2-0, Jamie. 2-0, let's have a go. If you had the goal, and then but when it comes to 3-4, try to not be an embarrassment, and that will, I think, go down and tarnish a bit, unfortunately, what Inzaghi has done, although I still think he's a great coach, but he was done tactically right there.
Wow, incredible scenes here. PSG fans trying to get in touch with the players and the trophy itself. It's the first time they won the Champions League, the second French side in history to win this coveted European trophy. Now, Thierry Henry was just saying a moment ago, what would the scenes be like in Paris? Let's take you over to the French capital, because look at this in the Parc de France. It's Euphoria. They've let off fireworks there. They can't believe it. They've done it, and in an incredible manner. Ousmane Dembele was saying the way we've done it, Thierry, is what makes it even more incredible.
The way they've done it, because right from the start, it didn't look like it. It didn't look like they were going to do it. And then after, when they went into the fifth gear, shall I say, they never looked back. And then the way they destroyed team on the way. Yes, you can talk about how they finished the season, but they were already champions, so it doesn't really matter. But you know, the way they I mean, I don't even know if you can call that the final. It was just really at the end pretty embarrassing. But you have to give them credit because of where they came from to win it.